This message was not meant to be ignored. Listen carefully. Beloved, this message reaches you at a precise moment, not early, not late. Something within you has been asking quietly for clarity, even if you did not frame it as a question. Guidance arrives when readiness meets stillness. You are not lost. You are recalibrating. There is a reason your attention has shifted recently. Certain things no longer excite you the way they used to. Certain concerns feel distant, even though they once felt urgent. This is not detachment from life. It is discernment awakening. Beloved, you are being guided to recognize what is essential and what is noise. Not everything that demands your attention deserves your energy. Alignment begins when you choose where to place your focus consciously. You may feel drawn toward simplicity now. Clear choices, honest conversations, fewer explanations. This is not withdrawal. It is clarity expressing itself. This message carries reassurance. You do not need to force progress. What is aligned moves with less resistance. When effort feels heavy, pause and reassess. Resistance often signals misdirection, not weakness. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes self-trust. Not arrogance, not assumption, but grounded trust built from experience. You have learned enough to recognize when something fits and when it does not. Honor that recognition. You are also being reminded that growth does not always feel like movement. Sometimes growth feels like rest, integration, or silence. These phases are not empty. They prepare structure for what follows. Beloved, pay attention to what brings calm rather than excitement. Calm is not boredom. It is stability. From stability, clarity emerges. Another message present now concerns boundaries. You are not meant to be available to everything and everyone. Selective engagement protects alignment. Saying no can be an act of honesty, not rejection. You may notice that your tolerance for inconsistency has decreased. Where words and actions do not match, discomfort arises. This is alignment sharpening integrity. Beloved, do not rush to correct others. First, remain correct within yourself. Alignment spreads through example more effectively than explanation. This message does not predict outcomes. It prepares awareness. When awareness is prepared, outcomes align naturally. Remain attentive to subtle shifts. Remain patient with unfolding. Remain honest when adjustment is needed. Beloved, you are not being tested. You are being trusted to live from clarity rather than confusion. And when clarity leads, life responds with coherence, quietly, steadily, and without force. Beloved, as this message continues, allow yourself to notice how much you already know without needing confirmation. Clarity has been forming quietly, and now it is asking to be respected rather than questioned. You are being guided to trust what feels steady over what feels dramatic. Intensity can impress, but stability sustains. What lasts in your awareness without effort is what is true. Beloved, there is an invitation here to slow your inner pace. Not your actions, but your urgency. When urgency fades, perception sharpens. You begin to see not just what is happening, but why it is happening. You may notice that certain decisions feel almost made before you consciously decide. This is not loss of control. It is alignment acting ahead of thought. Awareness has moved closer to instinct. Another message present now concerns release of unnecessary responsibility. You have been carrying things that are not yours to solve. Guidance now encourages discernment between contribution and burden. Helping does not require self-erasure. Beloved, you are also being guided to observe patterns without judgment. When something repeats, it is not accusing you. It is informing you. Awareness grows when patterns are seen clearly, not resisted. You may feel a growing comfort with saying less. Silence becomes intentional, not awkward. You no longer feel compelled to fill space with explanation. This is inner authority settling in. Beloved, archangelic guidance now emphasizes alignment between thought, word, and action. When these three agree, tension dissolves. When they conflict, discomfort arises as a signal for correction. This message also highlights timing. Acting too early drains energy. Acting too late creates regret. You are learning to sense the moment when action feels complete, not rushed. You may notice reduced attachment to outcomes. You still care, but you are no longer gripping results. This detachment allows action to be cleaner and more effective. Beloved, guidance at this stage is subtle but firm. It does not shout. It repeats gently until acknowledged. What you ignore will return. What you integrate will quiet. Remain attentive to what feels grounded. Remain honest about what needs adjustment. Remain patient with what is still forming. This message continues not to change who you are, but to stabilize how you live. Beloved, you are not being directed from outside. You are being aligned from within. And when alignment leads, every step forward carries less resistance and more truth. Beloved, as the message deepens, you are being invited to recognize the quiet authority you now carry. This authority does not come from control, recognition, or validation. It comes from coherence. When your inner state is aligned, your presence speaks before your words do. You may begin to notice that people respond differently to you. Some feel calmer around you. Others feel challenged without knowing why. This is not something you are doing intentionally. It is the natural effect of clarity meeting uncertainty. Beloved, another message present now is about responsibility to self. Alignment requires honesty, especially when it is inconvenient. You are being guided to stop abandoning your own knowing in order to maintain comfort or approval. Peace that costs self-betrayal is not peace. You may feel moments of inner friction when you consider old habits, roles, or expectations. This friction is not punishment. It is information. Something has shifted, and what no longer fits is asking to be released gently, not forcefully. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes consistency over intensity. Small, aligned actions taken regularly will carry you further than dramatic changes that cannot be sustained. Stability compounds. You are also being reminded that clarity does not eliminate emotion. It organizes it. Feelings still arise, but they pass through awareness without overwhelming it. You observe without drowning. You respond without collapsing. Another message here concerns self-respect in decision-making. You are learning to pause before agreeing, to feel before committing, to listen before responding. This pause is not hesitation, it is discernment. Beloved, you may notice that certain distractions are losing their grip. What once numbed you now feels empty. This is not loss. It is space being created for what actually nourishes you. Archangelic guidance at this stage supports inner alignment over external reassurance. You are not required to explain your direction to everyone. Not all paths need witnesses. You may also sense a growing intolerance for dishonesty, especially self-deception. Where you once rationalized, you now recognize truth quickly. This awareness sharpens integrity. Beloved, do not confuse clarity with rigidity. Alignment remains flexible. It adjusts without breaking. It adapts without losing center. Remain attentive to what feels clean and sustainable. Remain courageous when truth asks for action. Remain patient when integration takes time. This message is not rushing you toward change. It is stabilizing you within it. Beloved, you are learning how to live without inner contradiction. And from that coherence, every next step becomes simpler, steadier, and true. Beloved, as the message continues to unfold, you are being guided into a deeper sense of inner order. This is the stage where alignment becomes less about correction and more about maintenance. You are learning how to care for your clarity the way one cares for something valuable and living. You may notice that your reactions have softened, not because you feel less, but because you understand more. Understanding creates space between stimulus and response. In that space, choice becomes possible. Beloved, another message present now concerns energy hygiene. You are being guided to notice what drains you slowly versus what restores you quietly. Not all exhaustion comes from effort. Some comes from misalignment. Awareness allows you to adjust before depletion occurs. You may feel less inclined to argue, convince, or defend. This is not disengagement. It is confidence without noise. When alignment is strong, it does not require validation. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes patience with others without compromising yourself. You can understand without absorbing. You can empathize without entangling. This distinction preserves compassion without confusion. You are also being reminded that clarity invites simplicity. You may find yourself simplifying routines, conversations, even goals. This simplification is not reduction. It is refinement. Another message here involves forgiveness, not as an emotional demand, but as a release of mental occupation. You are being guided to stop carrying unresolved narratives that no longer serve your present. Closure does not always require dialogue. Sometimes it requires decision. Beloved, archangelic guidance at this level supports grounded presence. You are not being pulled upward into abstraction. You are being rooted more deeply into reality with awareness intact. You may notice increased sensitivity to truth. When something is misaligned, your body responds before your mind rationalizes. This somatic awareness is part of integration. Beloved, do not rush to label this phase. It does not need a name. It needs attention. What you nurture grows. What you ignore repeats. Remain attentive to subtle discomfort. Remain gentle with necessary change. Remain firm where boundaries are required. This message is not about transformation through force. It is about alignment through care. Beloved, as you maintain this inner order, life begins to mirror it. Interactions simplify. Decisions clarify. Resistance decreases. And in this quiet coherence, you move forward not with urgency, but with unmistakable steadiness. Beloved, as this message reaches its next movement, you are being guided to recognize maturity of awareness. This is not about having all answers. It is about knowing how to remain steady when answers are still forming. You may notice that uncertainty no longer feels threatening. Instead of rushing to resolve it, you allow it to exist without tension. This ease is not passive. It is strength that does not need to prove itself. Beloved, another message present now concerns self-observation without self-judgment. You are learning to notice your thoughts, emotions, and reactions as information rather than identity. This distance creates freedom. You respond instead of reacting. You may find that when something feels misaligned, you adjust quietly without drama. There is no need for collapse or confrontation. Correction becomes gentle and precise. Beloved, guidance now emphasizes integrity in small choices. How you speak when no one is listening. How you act when no one is watching. Alignment is built in these subtle moments. You are also being reminded that rest is not a reward. It is a requirement. Sustained clarity depends on renewal. You are being guided to honor your limits without guilt. Another message here concerns truth spoken calmly. When words come from alignment, they do not wound. They clarify. You no longer need to sharpen truth to make it effective. Beloved, you may notice a growing trust in your internal signals. When something feels complete, you stop. When something feels unfinished, you remain present with it. This sensitivity prevents both overextension and avoidance. Archangelic guidance at this stage supports emotional honesty without indulgence. You feel fully, but you do not spiral. Emotion moves through awareness and resolves naturally. You may also sense that certain attachments are loosening on their own. You are not forcing release. You are simply no longer feeding what does not align. What lacks attention fades. Beloved, do not mistake this calm for stagnation. Movement is still happening, but it is efficient. Energy is no longer wasted on resistance or overthinking. Remain attentive to inner signals. Remain respectful of your capacity. Remain grounded in what is true now, not what once was. This message is not asking you to become someone else. It is inviting you to remain fully yourself without fragmentation. Beloved, as this integration continues, your life organizes around clarity rather than effort. And from that clarity, progress unfolds with quiet certainty. Beloved, as this message moves forward, you are being guided into steadiness that does not depend on circumstances. This is the stage where inner balance holds even when external conditions fluctuate. You are no longer anchored to outcomes. You are anchored to alignment. You may notice that when plans change or delays appear, your center remains intact. Frustration arises briefly, then dissolves. This is not indifference. It is resilience rooted in clarity. Beloved, another message present now is about trust in your own pacing. You are no longer comparing your progress to others. You recognize that alignment unfolds according to internal readiness, not external timelines. You may also feel less compelled to explain your choices. Silence feels sufficient. This does not isolate you. It protects your energy. Not everything meaningful needs to be translated into words. Guidance now emphasizes discernment and engagement. You are learning when to participate fully and when to step back without guilt. This discernment preserves both effectiveness and peace. Beloved, archangelic influence at this stage strengthens your ability to remain present under pressure. When challenges arise, you do not collapse inward or project outward. You stay with what is happening, moment by moment, allowing solutions to emerge naturally. You may notice that your intuition feels clearer during ordinary moments rather than dramatic ones. Guidance shows itself while you work, speak, listen, and rest. Alignment becomes practical, grounded, usable. Another message here concerns gratitude without dependency. You appreciate what supports you, but you do not cling to it. Appreciation flows freely because fear of loss has softened. Beloved, you are also being guided to accept your own authority. You do not wait for permission to live truthfully. You take responsibility for your choices and release blame for outcomes beyond your control. You may sense a deeper compassion for others without absorbing their confusion. You understand their struggles without entangling your identity with theirs. This balance allows kindness without depletion. Beloved, do not underestimate the power of consistency. Showing up aligned, again and again, creates stability that transforms more than sudden effort ever could. Remain attentive to what keeps you centered. Remain honest when something requires recalibration. Remain patient with the unfolding of results. This message is not about reaching a final state. It is about sustaining clarity as life continues to move. Beloved, as you maintain this steadiness, guidance becomes less noticeable because it is fully integrated. And from that integration, your path remains clear, quietly, reliably, and true. Beloved, as this message continues into its next phase, you are being guided to embody clarity even when no guidance feels apparent. This is an important threshold. Alignment is no longer something you feel frequently. It is something you live from naturally. You may notice that you no longer ask, "Is this right?" as often. Instead, you sense when something is off almost immediately. This sensitivity is not anxiety. It is refinement. Your awareness has become precise. Beloved, another message present now concerns responsibility for your inner climate. You understand that peace is not produced by perfect conditions. It is maintained through conscious response. This understanding frees you from waiting for life to cooperate before you feel settled. You may also observe that you recover faster from emotional disturbance. Moments still arise, but they do not define your day. You recalibrate without self-criticism. This is maturity of awareness. Guidance now emphasizes quiet courage. Not the courage to confront loudly, but the courage to remain truthful when silence would be easier. You are learning to honor what you know even when it is unseen or unacknowledged. Beloved, archangelic influence at this stage supports discernment between effort and force. You act where action is required, and you stop where forcing would distort alignment. This restraint is wisdom, not hesitation. You may feel a growing sense of self-trust that does not depend on past success or future reassurance. You trust your capacity to respond, not to control. This trust stabilizes you in uncertainty. Another message here involves refinement of intention. You are being guided to act with fewer hidden motives. When intention is clean, energy flows efficiently. Confusion dissolves when motives simplify. Beloved, you may also notice that certain relationships adjust naturally. Some deepen through mutual clarity. Others loosen without conflict. Alignment reorganizes connection without drama. You are being reminded that rest is part of discipline. Knowing when to stop is as important as knowing when to move. Burnout is not dedication. Balance sustains purpose. Remain attentive to inner alignment rather than external affirmation. Remain grounded when clarity feels quiet. Remain steady when growth feels subtle. This message is not preparing you for something dramatic. It is stabilizing you for something sustainable. Beloved, as you continue from this place, guidance no longer interrupts your life. It supports it continuously. And from that support, your movement forward remains calm, deliberate, and unmistakably aligned. Beloved, this final movement of the message brings you into recognition rather than instruction. You are not being told what to do now. You are being shown who you are when alignment is no longer effortful. You may notice that your sense of identity feels quieter but stronger. You define yourself less through roles, achievements, or reactions. You know who you are by how you remain steady when circumstances shift. Beloved, another message present now is acceptance of incompleteness. You no longer demand that everything makes sense at once. You trust that clarity arrives in sequence. This patience keeps your perception open rather than rigid. You may feel less urgency to reach conclusions, not because you are uncertain, but because you understand that truth unfolds through experience, not assumption. Waiting no longer feels like delay. It feels appropriate. Guidance at this stage emphasizes embodiment. Alignment is no longer conceptual. It shows in how you move, how you listen, how you pause. Even ordinary moments carry awareness. Beloved, archangelic influence now works through resonance rather than direction. When something aligns, it feels correct without explanation. When something does not, it quietly loses your interest. This discernment requires no justification. You may notice that your reactions to praise and criticism feel balanced. Appreciation is received without inflation. Critique is heard without collapse. Your center remains intact. Another message here concerns stewardship of your energy. You are being guided to protect clarity as something precious. Overexposure, overcommitment, and overthinking are no longer appealing. Simplicity feels natural. Beloved, you may also sense a deepening respect for time. Not urgency, not fear of wasting it, but appreciation of rhythm. You understand that presence gives time meaning. You are reminded that guidance continues, but quietly. It will not always announce itself. Sometimes it will feel like intuition, sometimes like restraint, sometimes like calm certainty. Remain present without grasping. Remain aligned without effort. Remain open without losing center. This message does not conclude a journey. It confirms a foundation. Beloved, you now move forward not seeking guidance, but expressing it through how you live. And from this embodiment, clarity sustains itself, steady, grounded, and true.